When it comes to the First World War, I believe everyone will think that it is a very distant thing. You may feel that you can read the history only from books. Perhaps you may think that you can have the opportunity to contact with cultural relics related to it only by going to museums. But it turns out that historical relics will appear around us at any time and are closely linked with ourselves or the people around us. One of my English teachers, Jules, is a descendant of a World War surgeon. He still has several family letters from World War I in his home. I was fortunate enough to see with my own eyes the cultural relics of the First World War, holding them in my hand, feeling and imagine the sense at that time vividly. Today, I have the pleasure to invite Jules to share with us the family letters and cultural relics collected in his home during the First World War, and to accept my interview. Thank you very much, Jules, for accepting my interview. Yes, and thank you very much. You have been so many relics here to share with us.
Absolutely no problem, Wei. Thank you for having me here today.
Jules, I'm very glad that you come and interview with the cultural relics and family letters of the First World War, so that everyone can watch and experience the detailed scenes of the First World War.
That's no problem at all. It's a pleasure to be here. And I'm glad you're so interested in my family.
Thank you. How many treasured cultural relics or family letters did you bring today?
So we have this one longer letter.
Yeah.
We have a telegram.
Yeah.
2 postcards.
Yeah.
And perhaps the most emotive, a telegram from Buckingham Palace.
Very precious. Where did you get these relics from?
So my mother had been storing them at the house, and she was passed them by her mother.
Yeah. Excellent. It's not easy, so I say they are very precious. You have just taught me a word instead of relics. Can you teach me once again?
Sure, the word is ephemera.
Ephemera. Ephemera. Yes.
And that's how they are labelled
Ephemera.
on my mother. So let's see which envelope is it on. I believe it's on here. Yeah, so as you can see, it says ephemera.
Ephemera.
E-P-H-E-M-E-R-A.
Yes.
Ephemera, yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's quite alright.
Next, here's a letter that's quite extensive, and I am guessing a lot of people are interested in knowing what a real wartime letters would be. Jules, are you ready to present the content for us?
Of course, yeah.
After you finish presenting, I will speak again in Chinese for you, so that audience who are used to listen Chinese or Cantonese can be more proficient. Okay?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, let's listen to your medicine now.
Okay. So I'll take the transcription of the letter.
Yeah.
Would you like me to read it out in full? Read it out, all of it?
If you don't mind, yes.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Dear Bet, your letters of the 22nd and 24th reached me together today. Thanks very much for both, and exceedingly pleased to hear that you are no longer despondent. To keep one's pecker up is half the battle in this troublesome world. I wouldn't like to hear that you are continuously down in the dumps, because I am out here facing a bit of danger now and again. That would not be very encouraging to me, would it? Get as much pleasure as you can under the circumstances, and until I can rejoin you, I hope that day is not far remote. You mentioned leave in one of your letters. I am afraid that is a thing of the past now, for a while at any rate, as all leave is closed, owing, I presume, to this sudden pushing fit of Fritz. He has done very well indeed lately, but don't let it worry you. He is nearly at the end of his tether once again. Still, one cannot be blind to the fact that he has succeeded in driving us back at several points, but his losses have been tremendously heavy. Heaven knows that we have lost heavily, yet our losses are nothing compared to the Bosches. We cannot help mowing them down in hundreds when they advance huddled up together as thick as peas in a bottle. For people in England, it is difficult to imagine, much more to realise that his support waves have to climb over piles of their dead comrades in order to get anywhere near our front system of trenches. Still, on they come until at last we are forced to withdraw, overwhelmed only by sheer force of numbers. Oh, it is a silly old war. On Saturday night, I slept on a bed and was able to take off my clothes for the first time for a month. Oh, weren't those pyjamas gloriously comfy? I slept for 14 hours. So did all of us, as a matter of fact. We are out for a few days, thank goodness, and we are making up for lost time in the comforts time. Now I am back with a battery. I am not quite so badly off as when with the battalion. The duties are a bit lighter, and except when one is actually strafing or being strafed, it's not at all bad as things go out here. Of course, everybody comes in for a fair share of gas, which we have come to consider now as a natural method of wiping one another out. But it is really surprising the low percentage of casualties we have from this form of poisoning, especially as it has become a daily occurrence now. By the way, this little dose of mine has, I fear, worried you a little. As a matter of fact, I should have reported sick, but it would have meant trouble for me even if I got to Blighty, as I would have probably done had I have done so. But don't worry anymore, as my rotten old voice is coming back stronger every day, and I think that if I could only get a good gargle from Dr. Sawyer, I should be okay in a few days. There are a few little things I would like you to send me. Hair soap and shaving stick, 1 dozen Gillette safety blades, khaki cotton. I should like to get the above articles soon if possible. Your bake was okay, and it gave us a fine appetite for more. I am wearing a flash, thanks muchly. The cigarettes were also very acceptable. Andrew wrote to me on the 5th of this month. I received it on the 26th. It only took 21 days in finding me. Unfortunately, it was rather an important letter. Still, I hope you will get my reply in time. By the way, you do not mention anything regarding that allowance form forwarded for your signature. Did you send it on to Shrewsbury? Yes, I have received both Rubens and Hillman's letters. Will reply when opportunity occurs. My 2 fat lady friends will, I am afraid, have to nurse their patients a little while longer. I noted that Fanny did not mention anything of having formed fires when last home. That's very encouraging anyway. Well, little woman, I think I ought to draw to a close. My kindest regards to all friends and acquaintances. Dr. Sawyer will get a letter soon, so will many others, I hope. I was so pleased to hear that the children are quite well and hearty. How are they getting on with the piano? I was rather surprised to hear that Vivek has lost her keenness in music. Tell her that she must buck up and catch Nancy up again. Bravo, Nancy, keep it up. I take it for granted that Jimmy is at the head of affairs as per usual. He's a good lad, and I'm proud of him. With love and kisses to you all, Ralph.
Thank you very much. And my turn now in Chinese.
Go ahead.
親愛的比弟，你在22號和24號的來信，今天起送到我這裏了。非常感恩收到這2封信，亦都非常高興地知道你們不再憂愁。在這個紛亂的世界裏，作戰的另一部分就是要保持能苦中作樂。因為我在這裏時刻面對着危險，所以我不願聽到你不斷地失落與困乏，那對我來說不會很鼓舞，對嗎？在這個時勢下，要盡量享受愉悅，直到我可以和你們重聚。我盼望 重聚那天不會很遙遠。你在一封信中提到離開，我恐怕這已經成為過去一段時間了，因為所有離開的渠道都已封閉了。我認為這是拜費列茲的發明所賜，他曾經確實很出色，但別讓這個事實令你擔心，因為他再次的瘋狂已經接近完結了。當然不能忽視這樣一個事實，就是他在幾個方面成功地把我們打回原形，但他的損失也是非常慘重的。上天知道我們傷亡慘重，但與博世相比，我們的損失微不足道。但他們擠在一起，像瓶子裏的豌豆一樣多一樣密集時，我們就將它們成百上千地割下來。對於在英倫的人來說，這場仗是很難想像的。要知道的是，他們的支援軍必須爬過堆積如山的死去的戰友，才能到達我們前方的戰壕系統附近。可是他們的人數實在眾多，而且不斷推進，令我們不知所措，到最後唯有被迫撤離。哦，這真是一場愚蠢的路障。星期六晚上，我睡在床上，一個月來第一次脱下衣服。哦，那些睡衣不是很舒服嗎？我睡了足足14小時。事實上，我們所有人也是如此，謝天謝地，我們得以離開最前線幾天，我們正在舒適的地方盡情享受一下。現在我帶着炮台回來了，我不像在營隊那麼糟糕了，職責比前輕一些，除非有人展開掃射，否則這裏的情況一點也不壞。當然，每個人前來都是為了獲得公平分量的無毒氣體。我們現在將其視為一種互相消滅的自然方法。令人驚訝的是，這種中毒形式的比例很低，尤其是現在，它已經成為每天發生的事情。順道說一句，我的這一小劑量恐怕會讓你有點擔心。事實上，我應該向你報告生病的。如果這樣做了，即使我患上了枯萎症，向你報告病況對我來說仍會帶來麻煩。可是我還是向你報告了。但是不用再擔心了，因為我爛透的老桑子每天都在轉好。我猜，如果不能從私眼醫生那裏得到好品質的漱口水，我應該會在幾天內沒事的。希望你能寄給我一些小東西，離香皂和鬚刨，一包吉列安全刀片。When I am reading it, I really felt the atmosphere of the scenes. How do you feel?
I think about what life must have been like for him during the war and how that affected my family as well back in Britain.
Yes, I see. It is really a very deep-hearted letter. I felt as if I was watching a detailed film. There are many detailed descriptions in the letter, showing the subtle parts of the war. I think that your great-grandfather should be a well-educated elite. He joined the army to fight during the war.
In terms of his academic background, I don't know. I do know he came from a religious family, and some of them were vicars and priests.
Yes, we cannot help marking them down in hundreds when they at once handled up together as thick as pears in a bottle. It's not simply literally rhetoric. It is conceivable that your great-grandfather was not an ordinary soldier, but an academic man, right?
Possibly, like I said, I think he was a vicar, but I think it's also typical of the way the general public spoke at the time.
Okay, as you can imagine, due to the large number of personnel required for the war, even your great-grandfather will be on the battlefield. The letter mentioned the poison gas, which made me feel the horrors of reckless killing. Do you hate this kind of war?
I hate all kinds of wars. I was surprised to hear that it had happened every day. That must have been terrifying. And he was affected by it. It says that he lost his voice. Yes, terrible.
Yes, very terrible. Was photography invented at that time? Are there any photos of these relics?
Yes, so we have here 2 postcards.
Yeah.
One showing him with his battalion in a camp. There's tents behind him.
Yeah.
And he is the second from the left.
Yes.
In the bottom row.
Yeah.
And then we also have a postcard of Winchester High Street.
Yeah.
You can see it's black and white. All the photos are black and white.
Yeah.
And then finally we have his army photograph. So this is the man that wrote the letter.
Yeah. Wow. In this solo portrait, I can see that your great-grandfather looks very similar with you. Yeah. I think your great-grandfather was very heroic, gentle, intelligent, and serious. I think that temporarily you are not inherit all those characters. Do you agree?
I don't know about heroic, but that's very kind of you to say. I've definitely inherited the moustache.
Yeah. Have you ever? I think you have letters in your great-grandfather, right? I'm sure you respect him very much. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. To be honest, just looking at this portrait, I am also respect and appreciate him very much.
That's very kind of you to say.
Check out the other one. It's a big good photo. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's his battalion.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can see the canvas tents behind him as well.
Yeah. Although it is during the war, the formation of ranking are not slowly at all. They queued up very tidily. Yeah. Especially the first row. We can see the pattern that they formed.
Yeah.
The poster is very beautiful and the arrangement is very symmetrical.
Yes.
You have located your great-grandfather. Can you locate once more?
So front row, second left.
Front row, second left. This one. It seems that your great-grandfather is always serious.
Yes, I think
His
so.
face, yes.
Yeah.
These are 10.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, it can be seen that they are all white in color and there are no trees nearby. It seems that it is not easy to avoid the gaze of the enemy. Do you think so?
So I think this camp is not near the front line.
Yeah.
I think this would have been far away from the fighting.
Yeah.
So they're not too worried about the enemies here.
So some bad mark from the front line.
Yeah, so a safer place. So they don't need to worry too much about that.
Okay. Let's just watch this postcard. Could you introduce us more detailing?
Well, yeah, so this is not a place that I've been, but it's the main high street in the centre of Winchester.
Yeah, Winchester.
And I have family that live there.
Yes.
It looks similar to pictures of the Exeter High Street where we live as well.
Yes, quite similar. The style and the buildings are quite similar.
And you can see some old cars and shop fronts there as well. People wearing very old-fashioned clothes.
Yes. What is this one? Is it the telegram?
Yes, so this is a telegram. Now,
what is it written about?
So a telegram was not a written letter. It was like an old-fashioned text message on the phone. Text message.
Like a message or typing.
So very simple messages. They had different options they could choose from. For example, I am quite well, or I have been admitted into hospital, or I am sick, or I am wounded, and you can choose one.
So the message are P-title.
Exactly. So they choose one, and then they can send it. So there's not much information. So it said, I am quite well, I have received your letter, I will send the letter at the first opportunity, and then a signature, right, and the date, of course.
Is it written or typed by your great-grandfather?
Not typed, no. So this would
have... choose the line.
So this card, all soldiers would have had the same card, and then they would select the things for them. And you can see this was, you can see this was sent in May 1918. So over 100 years ago.
And which one has the word
privy purse? So this is another telegram, and this is from Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace.
Yes, and this is probably the saddest of all the letters. This is to tell my family that Rufus has died at war. Okay, and the privy purse was a department at Buckingham Palace. People would deal with finance, but also deaths of soldiers.
Yes, this phrase I have checked it from the Google translation and dictionary, but I can't find the meaning.
No.
It's very difficult.
No.
So you have to explain it.
It won't be in the dictionary. Maybe the word privy and the word purse, but together they have a new meaning.
Yes, the meaning they provided to me is very ridiculous.
It makes sense.
A telegram of condolence will be sent to the family members. It can be since that the British royal family cares about every soldier. Do you agree?
To a certain extent, yes.
Up to now, is there anything else you would like to add on your own initiative, or would you like us to know about?
No, I just think that, like you said before, it's good to preserve these and keep them.
Yes, I think it is very fruitful enough.
As a warning to other people to avoid more wars.
The crisis and threaten and bad side of war.
I don't think there is a good side of war. There's only a bad side.
Okay, thank you very much for showing us these pieces, cultural
Ephemera.
Ephemeras. Thank you. And thank you very much for accepting my interview and presenting us the family letters for us, which are very helpful for us to understand the First World War as well as the British culture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you for showing interest.
Okay, and alright, that's all for this exposure. I hope you like it and subscribe to Dr. Space channel. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Well done. That was brilliant.
Dear Bet, I forgot 1 or 2 items in my letter of the 29th. Will you also include boracic ointment and powder, and I wonder if it is possible to obtain a small bottle of Odol now. It would be greatly appreciated. I am sorry that I am giving you all this trouble, and I hope it will not inconvenience you. Our short period of rest ID at an end once more, so goodbye civilization for another month or so. Well, cheerio, little woman. Wish me luck. Best wishes, love and kisses to you all.
Wow.
Dear Annie, we are in camp since Friday morning and far more comfortable than I expected. 30 in one hut. If you should feel inclined to write address as follows. Corporal R.W. Thomas, 21,670 Hut 19. 15th, Long, Battalion R. W. T. Down Camp. Winchester. Love to you and all.
Wow.
Dear Annie, how are you keeping at Least Greenwich? I have been kept pretty busy lately and can find very little time for anything but military work. Some of the boys prevailed upon me to join this group. I've spoilt the photo as usual. Fond love and kisses. Raph. We'll be leaving here shortly, for Winchester previous to leaving the continent. My love to all. Have you a photo you can share me?
The King and Queen deeply regret the loss you and the army have sustained by the death of Lieutenant R.W. Thomas. In the service of his country, their Majesties truly sympathize with you in your sorrow. Keeper of the Privy Purse.